Assume we're live.
It's you in a blankie.
Huh?
It's you in a blankie.
It's me in a blankie.
Doing the show.
That's the way the
today.
show is always going to be. Me in a blankie.
Oh, you guys don't.
Hello, children.
They don't even understand how cold I am.
Hold on,
now.
we're still situating. But we went live anyway.
I am freezing cold. I've got a hoodie on. I've got a blanket on.
It's not that cold in here.
Oh my gosh! What did you put the temperature at?
It's the same as it's been for 2 days. You said it.
Well, I raised it up.
I haven't touched it.
Today.
No, you didn't. You stood there next to me and we're pushing the button. You didn't do anything secretly.
Okay, well, I turned it up
You
today.
said, it's cold. I'm going to raise it. That's not a secret.
Wow. Can y'all see my Star Wars shirt? Okay. Hello, everyone.
I apologize. I got to look down. I know sometimes I'm looking at the angle because I'm looking at the computer.
Look at the cameras.
I got to look down here.
Hello, welcome to this week's episode of Hollywood Matrimony Live. Make sure you check out our website, HollywoodMatrimony.com. Thank you for watching us right now on YouTube and Facebook. You can also find us on the Twitter and the Instagram at Hollywood Matrimony.
I'm going to apologize in advance in case his chair goes crazy.
That chair tried to kick him out of the seat. It's like a Bronco.
It tried to slam me face first into the desk last night.
Although I find that funny. I don't think
Because
it'd be good for the show.
Because the back of it shot forward. See? Like that.
Stop doing that.
Well, I did it on purpose that time.
Oh, okay.
I was
Well,
demonstrating.
I'm in this huge old chair that you can't see all of on the Facebook.
Well, you
side,
trying to
so I
act
gotta
like you're the
scoot
queen.
over. Scoot over. This way.
Do you need me to scoot over? Or is it you and I?
It's me.
All right.
But you don't
We
care
have
about that.
so much to talk about.
Oh, Lord.
Girl, you don't even know.
Well, where are we going to start?
Well, we got 3 movies we're going to talk about today. One of them is part of a franchise.
Yes.
One is, or the other 2 are solo films. Have nothing to do with Han Solo.
Okay.
And then we got all kinds of experiences and con updates.
So
and
many experiences.
like that to
I
talk
don't even
about.
know where to start.
So let's just, since you're,
Why is this doing this? Compliment.
you have to go.
I did this the other day already.
It told you it gives you a limited amount of time and then makes you redo it.
Oh, my goodness.
This one's been lounging around over here, not prepared.
I'm on vacation, girl.
Anyway,
So I'm not.
so what would you like to
trying do
discuss
anything.
first? Maybe you saw the other 2 we
What
saw
did
together.
I see?
You saw. Wow.
So this week,
You went to a screening on Tuesday.
well, I have 2 movies to discuss.
What? Okay, so you have 2 movies I haven't seen to discuss.
Yes, I had the Netflix movie as well.
All right. Well, you talk about whatever you want.
Well, first I want to talk about, I guess we'll talk about the one I saw. It's The Goldfinch.
Pretty much anyone you talk about like this would be the one you saw.
It's available
The Goldfinch?
now. Goldfinch, the bird.
Finch.
I did not say the B word. Go watch it right now. It's at the theater. It stars the little boy. You're gonna have to help me with the names because I don't remember.
I haven't seen the movie.
But the main
Ansel
kid,
Elgort.
yes, he also
Baby
a
Driver.
baby driver. So good. And then the little boy, which
I don't know his
My internet- Oaks,
Fugly, Freakly, Feckly,
Flegley,
Flegly.
Flagley.
I don't think any of that's right.
I don't know. Anyways, I'm just now getting my internet up and running.
You're on
so
Facebook.
I know, please excuse me. Anyways, the Goldfinch tells the story
I guess
of
we
a
should.
little boy.
Hold on, pause. I guess while you're doing that, I guess we should tell everybody that we're live from a hotel in Mississippi.
We're in Mississippi.
So
In my SSISSIPP app.
in my crooked letter I, humpback I.
And that's why the internet is slow and it's taking us a long time to get set up.
Yeah, so that's why we have this interesting thing. We have things behind us though that still comic-ish related because there are things we bought at the convention.
This free
but we're here-
internet is
We're
slow.
here because I was a featured artist special guest
Ooh, you're fancy.
at Golden Triangle Comic Con, and she was the guest of the special
I was the
guest.
guest of the guest.
Guest of the special guest. So
I'm
that's
just-
why
I'm nothing.
we're in the big
basically.
old Mississippi.
Yes.
Excuse me. And do our show live from a hotel room.
Live from Mississippi. Anyway, so none of this is working because that's how my life works.
That was supposed to give her enough time to be prepared, and she still ain't prepared.
Oh,
Just tell us
well.
about the stupid goldfinch.
Okay, so the Goldfinch, I was telling you to, tells the story of a little boy who goes, as you see in the preview, he's at a museum with his mama. Some sort of accident, something happens, and he can't find her.
They show the accident in the trailer.
Okay, and
Right.
then,
In case you haven't seen the trailer.
well, I don't want to give it away. And as you see in the trailer, he's waiting for his mom, and she never comes home.
My God, it's shit.
And so that's kind of where the story begins And obviously a lot has to do with the Goldfinch painting. But it's actually really interesting to me. It's kind of the portrait, well, it's based on the novel, but to me it's the portrait of a child dealing with loss.
She gets in this big ass chair and she starts doing this like she's
Yeah, y'all can't see
she's
me.
the claw from Inspector Gadget.
No, that's this guy.
I'm aware.
It is. It's this little boy dealing with loss and uncertainty because where is he going to live? He has an absentee father. I don't think that's giving anything away. And they're trying to figure out, well, where is he going to stay? He can't stay at home alone. What's going to happen with all of her things? What does he do? Does he go back to school? I mean, just so many little things that I think we don't think about when these things happen. Especially if you're a child and you're suddenly alone. What do you do?
When they're going through all this, do they sing the "What do you do, baby?
Without us.
Sha-da-da."
No, that does not happen at all.
It is sha-da-da. Sha-da-da is a whole nother thing.
Anyways, it's actually, I really enjoyed it. I think a lot of people have made some negative comments just because the film maybe felt slow to them or maybe they thought it dragged on. I didn't feel that way. I felt like it was purposely paced at a slower pace than most movies, but I felt like it was to make us feel that sense of uncertainty and make us uncomfortable because that's what this little boy is going through. Yeah, because I'm like, oh, like he didn't even have a coat and it's
winter. Were you
winter.
more comfortable during this or at the Malco Theater?
In that movie. not Malco, and Goldfinch. But I thought it was purposely paced. It was like for a purpose, for a reason. Some people are not going to like it because you're going to think it's slow and boring. And I did not get that at all. By the time I realized it, I guess it was almost over. And I had just thought, I'm like, oh, I wonder how long it's been. Because it is 2.5 hours.
Goodness.
So be prepared as you go into it. It's a dialogue movie, but it's interesting because the little boy that plays the main character, which is Oaks Fegley. I was right, Oaks Fegley.
And he's friends with Finn Wolfhard or whatever.
Yeah, Finn Wolfhard. Most of you will know from
It and Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. He plays a Russian kid named Boris. But
is Natasha there?
No. So it's interesting because Ansel, who's Baby Driver,
Is Gretel there?
Ansel doesn't have as much dialogue because a lot of the dialogue comes from his younger version, which is this Oaks kid. So a lot of the character's name's Theo. So a lot of it's young Theo telling us his story, but we're seeing it from Ansel's point of view, remembering. But some of it Ansel literally has blocked out. Mm-hmm. And you find out later on because of certain things he's done too, some of his memories have been blocked. The other interesting thing about this movie is there is a lot of drug usage and alcohol abuse. Not just the main characters, but like lots of people throughout the story. And it's interesting to me how it just becomes a prevalent part of the life of these characters. Prevalent. And how that itself has repercussions throughout the entire film of the people they're with, how they get involved, and how it later just carries out, throughout their entire lives. It becomes a major issue of what happens later. So it's interesting to me also that was partly, I don't think this is a spoiler, but let me just tell you, it happens several times throughout the film that Theo, the little boy, is trying to deal with this issue of his mom, and he has nightmares and all of these things that are happening. Multiple people just give him a pill and be like, go take this and go to sleep. You'll feel better.
Was his dad Mr. Huxtable?
No. But it's not.
Because this sounds like Theo with the Huxtables and then Bill Cosby with the pills.
No, I mean, it's several people throughout the movie. Like, this is how they're dealing with problems. Just like give you a pill and go, this will make you feel better.
We know people
instead
like
of treating the problems or getting the poor kid in therapy. So I thought it was so interesting and telling of how now the pharmaceutical business is the business. Like, just give people a pill, it'll make you better. And it really doesn't, It creates more problems. And then I think also the need for
speed.
therapy is important, and I feel like
I don't
now
know nothing about this movie.
people are actually starting to come out and talk about it, and it's important that we talk about it. And there are people who really are suffering from depression or mental illness or whatever it is, and they need help. And then you always have those other people who think they have something and probably don't.
And messed it up for everybody else.
Yeah, because the people who really need help need access to the help. And that's the other thing is because of weird insurance things or whatever, they don't have access to it because you have to pay who knows how much to go see a therapist. It's a whole thing. Anyways, the little boy's dealing with issues and he needs help. And
It's a long review.
hey, it's a long movie. No, I enjoyed the film. It is not going to be for everyone. I'm stressing that. I'm also letting you know there's a lot of drug usage and alcohol in case that.
Is there boobs in
Some
it?
people are sensitive to that, and I want to throw that out there.
Okay, I want to throw that out there.
No, because some people are.
I know. Is there any boobs in it?
There are no boobs in it. I mean, they're not naked boobs.
Is there any male nudity?
There is not any male nudity.
Because I am an equal opportunity nudist.
I agree. Me too.
Because there is male nudity in the other movie.
There are a lot of people in this movie I didn't know were going to be in it, and I was surprised as I saw them because I only saw that very first trailer. But I guess you know that they're in it, right?
Yeah. The other movie we watched had both male and female nudity.
Yes, it did. Anyways, mother killed but over at the museum. Okay, there. That's all you need to know. And I do have to mention one thing. I have to talk about her. Do we know she's in it?
I don't know, but it doesn't matter.
I hope this is not a spoiler, but Sarah Paulson is in this film. I typically don't like her. I can't stand her face, but she was good in this movie.
We have a general consensus because in the other movie we watched, I have the same issue.
Yeah, she was good in this. Surprised, but true. So I am able to distinguish the difference between not liking her face and not liking her performance.
Kick her
face. Poor lady. I'm sure she's a sweetheart. Don't know.
Right.
Would probably never give her a chance to meet her and find out. I'm sorry. But
she's dating an older woman or married to an older woman.
What?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and you know the woman she's married to as well.
Let me go look. I do?
Forgot her name.
Well, there are a lot of great performances in this movie. You need to see it. And if you don't think you can handle the 2.5 hours, please rent it when it comes out and give Peace a chance, people.
Give
it a chance.
Give Finch a chance.
Yes,
right.
Give Finch a chance.
All right.
All right, and hello, thank you everyone who's watching. Hi.
Is there anybody watching?
Yeah, there's people watching.
All right.
I told people they said they would.
All
I said we have stories.
We do have
you
stories.
Want to watch.
Say, we went to the theater together, but you're talking about during the Goldfinch.
There was a theater experience,
okay.
which I'd like to share before I forget.
Go ahead.
We got out of the movie. It was long. Several people did not enjoy it. And they're like, oh, I can't believe I just spent 2.5 hours in this. And then I heard that what's her name was here. I should have gone to that. And I was like, what? The lady who wrote.
I love that you built that story up and you're so excited and nobody knows what the hell you're talking about.
I'm about to tell you. The lady that wrote The Handmaid's Tale.
Oh.
What was her name?
I don't know. I don't watch that show.
The writer of the book.
I don't know. I haven't read the book either. What the hell?
It would be who?
Felicia Rashad.
Felicia Rashad. Margaret Atwood was supposedly in Dallas there, somewhere in our building during that time.
Do you remember Diane Atwood?
No. Doing something, and we missed it because we were in the Goldfinch. So that was
That's what happened in your theater? That wasn't even an experience.
That was the experience.
That was just somebody said something that may or may not have even been true.
I know, but if it was true, I missed it.
Goldfinch.
That's true, too. And that Ansel guy, he's good. Baby Driver, he did a great job.
He did do a great job in Baby Driver.
Well, he did a great job in Goldfinch, too. Like, he doesn't have a whole lot of dialogue, but he's got a whole lot of facial expressions happening.
You said that already.
Okay. Well, I'm moving on. Continue. Next movie.
All right. So moving on. We actually the movie we saw here together.
Yeah.
Or we saw the one we saw a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
Or you have your other one by yourself. What would you like to talk about next? But one that's more of a gritty, violent, revenge, crime, horror flick. Or we have woman empowerment crime.
Let's talk about the first one.
Which one?
The gritty whatever.
Oh, the new trilogy film?
Yeah.
All right. So this is one I've been super, super stoked for. It is an acquired taste of the franchise. and it's a franchise we thought was already over. But it's the latest from Rob Zombie, Three from Hell. It's a trilogy, so it's the third part. The first movie being House of a Thousand Corpses, starring Bill Moseley, Sherry Moon Zombie, Sid Haig, who are the Firefly family, Captain Spaulding, Baby, and Otis. And the first one actually has Rainn Wilson. What is the guy that hosts The Talking Dead? That guy's in it.
Yes.
And I forgot the ladies. The ladies are people that I've seen before now, too. And then we had the second one, which was actually kind of a soft reboot, because my understanding that Rob was never, Mr. Zombie, was never fully happy with House of a Thousand Corpses. Yeah. So it's a sequel. It was kind of a reboot, kind of change in its direction, because that movie was kind of like an acid trip, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, just off the wall, whacked out psychedelic horror flick, right? Yeah. Where the second one, The Devil's Rejects, follows Otis and Captain Spaulding and Baby once again, but this time it was kind of the aftermath, and they're surrounded by police, which big shootout, which on the run, and they're being hunted, and in the second one they're being hunted by a sadistic sheriff. Yeah. Who his brother is the sheriff that's killed in the first one.
In the first one, so he's out for
So it's still connected, but he's as crazy as they are.
Yeah.
So there's no good guys
in
that movie. So at the end, if you've never seen them, and this, I have to kind of say this, it's kind of a spoiler for the second film if you've never seen it, but it's really not, because it's obvious by making a third one. The end of the second film, The Devil's Rejects, it ends with all three of them going out in a blaze of glory, if you will, driving right at a barricade of cops, being blasted, blood spewing everywhere, and left dead. Right? So we thought this franchise was done. We thought that was in. Devil's Rejects is an awesome movie. It's excellent. And I even interviewed Bill Moseley, which you can find right on our website at
HollywoodMatrimony.com.
And he said there was always a funny thing. Him and Sid Haig used to do at conventions where people would be, "Are y'all going to make another one?" Mm-hmm. And he said for years they would look at each other at the same time and they'd say, "F no," or he said, "No, we're effing dead," because they were dead.
Yeah.
Well, Rob came up with an idea to bring the family back together with the latest film, Three from Hell. It is not a supernatural thing where they're literally coming out of hell, because a lot of people have speculated that. Mm-hmm. Like, they did die and came back, and it's more psychedelic horror flick. It's still very much in the vein of Devil's Rejects. They basically survived the assault, have been in prison this whole time, and we're basically catching up with them with the new film. Right? That's the easiest way to put it.
Yeah, I think so. You just have to believe that they made it.
And of course,
it's fine.
Bill Moseley told me that, he goes, "There's no telling how they made it. If it's because of their love for each other and the family, is it because they're so evil they push through? You don't know."
There's a shot's hidden artery. How about that?
Well, no, there were a lot of arteries spraying.
I know. I was just kidding.
But there's 50 Cent got shot 9 times. So
that's true. In the face.
In the face. But there is a new addition, not the band new addition, but a new addition to the family. This time around, we're introduced to Richard Brake, who plays Foxy, who's, I believe, their stepbrother. Mm-hmm. He's actually the third member of the three from, which is their new nickname from when they go on their new murdering spree and whatnot, which is now Otis, Baby, and Foxy. Sid Haig has a very small, I know it's kind of a spoiler, but kind of prepare people.
Yeah, I think they need to know.
Yeah, and Rob Zombie's been doing interviews about it. So Sid Haig has a very, very, very small part in the movie because he's been in poor health, had surgery and stuff, and then just recently he's been put in ICU for an accident. So he hasn't been doing well, but he got a kind of a finale to his story. He has a great scene doing the normal Captain Spaulding spiel, and they kind of explain his character, and then you get to follow the other ones. So. I know you didn't revisit. You've seen them, but you didn't revisit the first two before we watched the new one.
No, I just went from memory.
So, and she didn't get to see the very ending of this one.
No, I kind of fell asleep. I was like,
it was pretty late at night we were watching it because I needed to watch it, getting ready to interview Bill Moseley. And
that's what happens with most of the movies we watch at home. I do this.
Yeah.
And then there's a cat here, like.
There's usually there's some movies we have to watch twice.
Yeah, my bad.
Let me rephrase this. I have to watch twice.
That's okay. No, but I remember.
But as somebody who's not a massive fan, like I love these movies, and I've loved every movie Rob Zombie has made. There's some that are a little weaker than others. You know, I know Lords of Salem is kind of an acquired taste. Some people do. Huh?
It was weird, right?
Yeah, it's a little psychedelic. 31 I love. Some people don't like his Halloween movies. He hated working on them.
Really?
He's been talking about that recently too, that they made it a living hell. Just fighting with the Weinsteins and the companies and people like that. But anyway.
I liked the movies. I liked the series of movies. I think this is going to be the most bizarre explanation of what I don't like. I don't like that they're dirty.
Yes, it's a very grimy, dirty movie, and all the characters are always dirty. And
if you're going to be a serial killer, great, but wash yourself after. Wash your clothes.
And that's his real beard.
Oh, he comes out all that weird yellow gray.
He said he took him about a year to grow that beard, to get beard ready.
Oh, horrible. I don't like that at all. Be a clean serial killer. Wash yourself and wash your clothes.
It's not his real hair though.
Nah, okay, but
bald.
I think that's what bothers me the most is they're all so gross and everything they live in is nasty and I mean, not that being a serial killer is great, but
I think that's part of the thing is I think it's supposed to give you a tone that they're just not like you get a sense. Well, yeah, but you get a sense of they have like this, which really weird balance of a family love.
They do.
And totally like Baby and Otis fight all the time like brother and sister. Sid Haig's character in the other movies fights with Otis, but is very loving to Baby, his little baby girl and whatever. So and then they introduce Richard Brake, and he fits in well with them, and they still fight. You know, we haven't seen him until this movie, and they still fight with each other. But then they have their nice moments of having ice cream together and enjoying stuff. But then when they get a chance to let loose some steam, they all are in that together, and they're just as happy.
Yeah,
it's a very strange balance that works.
They're very crazed. And insane. So, I mean, it works. I liked the movie. I thought it was interesting. I guess I had to just let go that they survived and like, okay, they're here. Here we go.
But what they do a very smart thing with the beginning, I thought, though, that, you know, it shows them in ICU and comas and all that stuff, and then going to prison and all the different things. It's all set up within like the first, like what, 15 minutes of the movie or 5 minutes of the movie or whatever it is. Yeah. They're news stories and articles.
Yeah, so we don't have to waste a lot of time.
Yeah.
We just keep going with our story. Yeah. And they're on the run or whatever. And they can't just be on the run. They have to stop and kill people, I guess.
Well, at this time around, it's not so much them stop and kill people. They're trying to make way somewhere. And
people getting
they're having to do stuff. But then their past comes back to haunt them, if you will.
Yeah.
And so they got to deal with more of that. And there's really not much more I can tell you about the movie.
Yeah, you just need to watch it. It's fun. I think if you like the other ones, you have to see this.
If you like the Devil's Rejects, I know there's House of a Thousand Corpses hit and miss. I remember when that trailer hit the first time. The trailer was just insane. It was like these people digging a grave, and it was raining. You're like, what the hell is this?
That's the second one, right?
That's the first one. The House of a Thousand Corpses. But that one was like.
I like the second one.
You don't even have to see the first one.
Not at all.
You can watch The Devil's Rejects and then watch this one. You do have to watch The Devil's Rejects, or you won't know what the opening is talking about.
Yeah.
But like I said, House of a Thousand Corpses, you can pretend that movie doesn't exist, but you shouldn't because it's awesome. But it is an acquired taste.
I don't like that one as much.
Yeah.
I do like this new one. Now, I do like a lot of the people that are in this one. I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, we can't tell you because he always has classic.
And you're like, what?
Yeah,
I was like, oh.
Rob's been notorious for that in all of these movies. That he goes and gets like classic horror actresses and
so good
and different icons and people like that.
There's a lot of good people in this movie, so I think give it a chance. I think if you like any kind of horror thing, or if you're into the whole serial killer thing, it is bloody and gutty.
Very much so.
So that's another warning. Some people.
And then once they get bloody, they never get unbloody. So they just get bloodier and bloodier and dirtier.
That's my thing. They never wash themselves.
I know. That's what I love about it. They just look more and more violent.
Hey, let me have some blood squirt on my face. Okay, now let's go eat some chicken. Like, come on. No, I don't even know if that. I don't think that ever happens.
Yeah, remember Kevin Spalding used to sell the fried chicken.
Oh, that's right. Like, that's why I thought that. It's so nasty too. It's so gross. And if you want to see some dirty old white guys in their dirty underwear.
Well, that's in Devil's Rejects.
I know. Watch that. That's a good time right there. It's nasty. It's just so gross, and you like that for some reason. You think it's hilarious,
it's so funny.
That's what grosses me out. Blood and guts don't gross me
That's
out.
how I try to live my life.
But dirty people that look dirty.
See, to me, I see that as a package.
Handle it.
I see that as the ambiance of the characters, because I think people's appearance.
Ambiance.
Well, it tells you about the people. Like
it does. They're crazy.
You see that these people are crazy. They don't give a shit about anything except each other.
That's true.
You know, because if something happens to one, the other person is there, no matter how much they fight.
Mm-hmm.
The other person's there to slice your head off.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not a discussion of.
I mean, that's the kind of love I want.
Yeah, it's not the discussion of you better stop touching them. If you touch them, I'll kill you. It's they just walk and shoot you in the face.
Yeah.
And it's.
I mean, I guess we all are searching for that kind of love.
It is a very brutal film.
Please watch yourselves.
Like this. If you want to check it out, though, I'm talking about it today. We can't post a official review on our website yet. But the reason I'm talking about it on today's show is because on the 16th, 17th, and 18th, I guess it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, yes. Right? Is when it's going to be showing through Fathom Events. They're doing 3 special nights. Each night offers up a different kind of event, if you will. I believe the first night it's, I think there's a Q&A, but they have an exclusive poster that's for that night only on the 16th.
Oh, that's so cool.
The second one is the Q&A with Rob type of deal. I don't remember exactly. And the third one, I believe, is a double feature of The Devil's Rejects and 3 from Hell. So go to fathomevents.com and you can find in your area who's showing it. Check it out. You got 3 nights to check it out. And sometime between late tomorrow night and Tuesday, be a look on our website at
HollywoodMatrimony.com
for my full review of the movie. But I'll just tell you right now that I loved it.
You did love it. I really liked it. I'm not gonna say I loved it, but I
loved it, and it's because I love all these movies. But also, I found out it looks like it's going to hit Blu-ray next month already. Because it's not getting a big wide release, and then the Fathom Events release. And that's the only screening of those 3 days. And then it's going to get a Blu-ray release. Yeah, probably try to get it out before Halloween.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's the same way when I saw his last movie, 31. I saw it at a Fathom Events thing.
Oh, okay.
So he's able to. A lot of their filming, when I got to talk to Bill Moseley, who plays Otis, and it's so funny because Bill Moseley reminds me of Robert Englund, who when you see him, he played Chop Top in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. He's done tons of horror films, right? But when you talk to him, he's this super nice guy. He's kind of geeky like. It's funny when I interviewed him, he's like Hollywood Matrimony, and he's kind of got that kind of voice. And he said, I explained to him what he goes, well, I just got married recently, so I guess I'm in Hollywood Matrimony as well.
There you go. Yes, you are.
But anyway, he said that it's very guerrilla filming type.
Yeah.
They had very little time to prepare. He said they pretty much let him know. He said once Rob told him, I think he said even without reading the script, he said Rob told him he had an idea how to bring it back. He goes, I'm in.
Cool.
Because he loved playing Otis. He wants to play Chop Top as well, but I don't think we're ever going to get that.
Yeah.
He played the. Did you watch the last Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Not the last one, the one before. I think it's Texas Chainsaw 3D. The one where with his daughter or whatever.
Yeah, I think so.
So you remember how the opening, and it's kind of a direct sequel to the original, and it has a guy who's supposed to be the guy from the family.
From the first one that came back to
but that actor's actually dead.
Oh, okay.
But the guy that plays him looks just like him. That's Bill Moseley again.
Oh, okay.
And he wanted to play Chop Top when they did that movie.
I do.
And they had to explain to him, say, well, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 was made by a different studio, so we don't own that character.
Oh, goodness.
But we do own this guy who was the head of that family.
The family.
And we want you to play him because that guy had passed away, or they would have brought him back.
I see.
So he got to play him.
That's cool.
So it's an interesting little twist. But you can check out my interview with Bill right on our website.
Hollywood Matrimony.
Hold on. You scroll down and you can see what I'm talking about.
Oh, yes.
He does not look like the same guy.
I love it. I love that. That's what people look like.
Would you even know that was him if I showed?
Not at all. I think it's just some dude at the grocery store. Okay.
Anyway, so 3 from Hell, fathomevents.com. You can find out all your screenings and go check it out. If you happen to go and get one of those exclusive posters and don't want yours, feel free to pass it on this week because I'll be glad to take it because I'm not going to get to go like I originally planned.
No, that's okay.
I actually still planning to go see it again just to support the film, but because of this trip, I'm not going to be able to go because I was going to go tonight or tomorrow night.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Instead, we're in Mississippi. All right, so why don't you tell us, before we get into the other one, why don't you tell us about this other weird movie?
Okay, my next movie, it's a Netflix
movie?
movie. It's available now on Netflix. Go check it out. It's called Falling in Love. N-I-N-N. It's the story of a girl who wins a contest, and she wins an old country inn in the heart of New Zealand. Not really. It's in the countryside of New Zealand. So she leaves everything. She travels to New Zealand thinking, hey, I'm going to fix up this inn, get it running, and off I go back to New York to my life. And she gets there, and the inn is like completely destroyed. It's a wreck. It doesn't even look like the photo. The photo was probably taken 50 years ago.
So this is essentially the money pit.
It's kind of the money pit, but it's
without being good.
No, it has Christina Milian, who we like. Milian, who we like. I
liked her.
She's an actress. She's a singer. She was in that show that we really liked. What was that called? Babe. Okay, she's cute, but what was that show we really liked her in?
It doesn't matter.
Anyways.
It got canceled, so it doesn't matter.
It's cute. You know who she is. You probably just don't know who she is.
Yes, they do. Go ahead.
She is so cute in this movie. It's a little romantic comedy, so it's probably could be. I know it's not you, but everyone else will.
Although there are some romantic comedies that I find amusing.
Are there?
Sure there is. I've seen some that I've enjoyed. Like I think that new one with Emilia Clarke and Henry Golding, the Christmas one looks funny.
The Christmas
Last Holiday or whatever it's called.
Is that one new one?
What's that new one coming out? The Paul Feig one, the one where she's in little elf shoes and
yes, that one does look cute because that one's kind of like
it looks funny.
And not a normal one. It looks like a little bit kind of dark.
Finally, I tell her one I like, and she has to
I'm gonna
tell
go
me
see
why.
It.
No, you're not.
Anyways, the other person in this movie is Adam Demos. He is super cute, you guys. That's all you need to know. He's the New Zealand guy, and he's cute.
Okay. Anyway,
all you need to know. Anyway, normal romantic comedy, pretty much by the numbers. Girl trying to fix up the place. She needs help. Oh, guess what? This guy's a carpenter dude. So, of course, they're spending time together. They fall in love, but she has
Did he give her some wood?
Yeah, but then, she has her life back home and ex-boyfriend problems, and then the main girl is trying to destroy work. So there's so much trauma of the normal variety. There's so much trauma. I thought it was super cute, and you guys need to watch it.
There's so much trauma in LBC.
Message Scott if you want to talk about Hobbs and Shaw. Anyways, you need to watch the show. So check out Falling in Love.
Scott, we already did the Hobbs and Shaw show.
I loved Hobbs and Shaw. I love both Hobbs and Shaw.
And Black
Superman. They are all hot, hot, hot.
Yes, we loved Hobbs and Shaw. We did a whole show about it.
All right. So that was my Netflix movie.
We'll do another show about it when it hits Blu-ray in the next few weeks or so.
All right. Next movie.
So the next one we're going to talk about the little family film called Hustlers.
Hustlers, because it is now a family movie, in case you didn't know that.
Yeah, we'll explain why as we finish the show with our theater experiences. If you don't know what Hustlers is, based on an article, I think it was a New York Times article or a Penthouse article or something. But it's based on an article. Stars Jennifer Lopez, Constance Wu. I really should say it stars Constance Wu and Jennifer Lopez, Keke Palmer, Cardi B, Lizzo, some white girl.
New York Magazine article.
New York Magazine. And some other people.
Lots of people being strippers.
And the whole premise of the film is about a group of strippers who end up figuring out a new way to make some money and becoming entrepreneurs. It just happens to be illegal.
Well, technically.
There's a gray area of illegal.
I think there's gray areas.
It is illegal, but there's a gray area there of how they're doing it. But it really follows Constance Wu more than anything.
It's her story.
She's a stripper, and she's not making enough money. She's trying to help take care of her grandma. It's her grandma, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Trying to take care of her grandma.
Somebody over here is in love with Constance Wu.
Who is?
My friend Sean.
Oh, he's in love with Constance Wu?
I guess so.
Well, does he just watch Crazy Rich Asians on slow motion?
Maybe so.
Anyway, it's basically she's saying take care of her grandma. It's like the normal story of a stripper trying to put themselves through college or whatever it is they're dealing with. But then she ends up meeting J-Lo, who's like the top premier boss lady type stripper.
She gets out there on
and let me tell you, I am
money.
not a fan of J-Lo at all.
You are not.
I don't like her music. I haven't been a fan of her movies since U-Turn.
That was a long time ago.
I know. There's just, I don't like all the romantic comedies and stuff she did. I love U-Turn. I love some of the earlier stuff she did. But it's just, every so often she'll do one that's okay, but as a whole, it just doesn't work for me anymore. But I will say she is really, really good in this. She fits. Like when she walks in the room, you believe that she owns that room. You know, the way she carries herself. And it's not just, I mean, she looks damn good. You can tell she busted her ass.
She worked
quite
hard.
literally.
She said she worked out hard and lost weight. And
she's always in great shape, but she looks, you can tell she put in the physical work, but she looks like the boss lady when she walks in the room. And while they put the slow-mo walks and all that stuff in, you wouldn't even need it. If she just walked in like she is with her fur coat, you'd be like, you wouldn't even know her if you look at it and say, that bitch in charge. You know.
And she was too.
But everybody in the cast, I don't like Cardi B either, but she was actually, she's not in it much.
Yeah, I actually wish she had been in it more.
Well, I think her is a less is more situation because she can be a lot.
I know she is. But just from the little, I know nothing about her.
I follow her Instagram sometimes because they're hilarious.
And the random videos of her getting naked in weird places.
That's on her Instagram stuff.
I don't even understand who this lady is, but
she's funny.
She's shaking her booty.
She's kind of the Tiffany Haddish of the music world.
Oh, okay.
Because she's just her. You know what I mean? She is just who she is.
That's fine.
You know, I don't understand all the and all that stuff that she does, but whatever.
Whatever.
I can't say them because there's Jim Carrey talked with his butt, so there's a lot of people do their own thing. But when she is there, it works. She steals the show when she's in the scene, and
she did good.
But so, what did you think of the film as a whole? Because I know you're a J-Lo fan.
I love J-Lo. I didn't see enough of her booty, so that was kind of.
How did you see any more of it? It was like barely covered with a piece of dough floss.
There wasn't enough of it. I think she worked out so hard and lost so much weight that it shrunk.
Here's why that worked for me, and I was happy as much as a man as I am. I was, you know, obviously I want to see more of the strip club stuff. I know toxic masculinity, but I would obviously want to see.
I wanted to see more too.
I wanted to, but I applaud them for the story they're telling because it wasn't about the strip club. It was about it was about them building this business and making money and doing their thing. And it went somewhere else while still being back and forth at the strip club. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I know. There wasn't enough strip club for me. There was not enough nudity for me. Because I think if you're trying to tell a story about it, then there needs to be more. But and I'm probably on toxic masculinity too. I'm toxically masculine.
No,
I know what you're saying. That wasn't really the focal point of the story. The story was about these ladies and what they were going through and what their struggle to make money and their idea to make more money. And so I get it, but
I thought my only issue with this movie was it could have been trimmed down way far. There was a lot of montage moments or things like that could have been trimmed. The pacing was off at times. Some of the cuts, you know, the way it went from one scene to another in relation to like year or time period. It felt abrupt sometimes. Like you'd be watching it and the scene would end and just go black, and then it would come back up, and then you'd be doing it. So some of the editing was a little off for me. And like I said, there's like a whole Christmas party. They could shave down half of that Christmas party and didn't need to be. The movie's what, like an hour and 45 minutes or something like that. So it's fine. It didn't feel long, but it could have been trimmed down a little more. I think to make it feel more like it's flowing a little bit better.
But it really was the story of Constance Wu and her.
Who?
Constance Wu learning the ropes and then dealing, because she's the one that we see throughout from the beginning to the end of dealing with her struggles and coming up and going down. And J-Lo throughout the whole thing, she's already on top.
And she's just staying
on top and trying to maintain.
I thought it had an interesting balance too, because I know when I saw the trailers, it was hard to find out if it was going to be heavy, if it was going to be funny, if it was going to be serious, a little bit of everything.
A little of everything.
It did. It had some funny stuff in it. It had some stuff that's inadvertently funny. It had some straight kind of jokes at you. But it also had like a very heavy aspect to it, the drug aspect to it, the damaged aspect of the psyche and betrayal and love and loss, and all those kind of things are like slammed together. And I think that's another reason that it needed to be trimmed, because it tried so hard sometimes to give you or to make you buy into that. Then you stayed too long before going back to something else. But as a whole, the movie still worked, and I actually really enjoyed it. I'll wait till she's done typing.
Yeah, I'm still dealing with this constant. I don't